coming up right about now, so we can get into these players' heads and see what's going on, so we can give a little bit of context to our deliberations. Game 2. Orman Temple Day.
Orman.
Do you ever just want to make weird sounds?
Okay, so same bands as last time.
Yes. I appreciate you keeping me on track.
You're welcome. I got you. This is what professional broadcasters do.
Yep.
This is what we are not.
Oh, actually, not same bands last time.
Oh, you're right. It was flipped around.
So they did feel like the croak was the symptom, not the disease.
Yeah.
So the Varesh being banned out, not wanting to have to deal with that Hand of Judgment, and Jürgen's Jumong. But that leads to a more interesting question: is that what are they going for here? And like it's Orman Temple Day, which was our whole the crux of our whole conversation about wanting to play Rook. So Dolos wants to play Rook. Do they still play into the Freya with a Lucy available? I don't know, man.
The Freya is going to be a last pick.
Definitely
because of the bans, it'll be a last pick.
You definitely don't pick Rook first, I think. Unless you're feeling really cocky, but I think that's just a huge misplay, especially with everything that EUNITED brought to the table.
EUNITED was expecting.
Yeah, they expect a Rook. The Varesh, still very countered by the Iva, so very good pick. But we've seen that the Rook can deal with the Iva okay. It's not like an auto win.
Right. I think that they've been safe waiting to pick the Iva second instead, just because they might have expected them not to immediately pick Rook and force your Nightmare. Maybe he's like, just kidding, I'm not playing Rook. And then, I mean, Iva's a great pick no matter what.
Yeah,
there's a lot of great utility. So it's kind of a win in that respect, even if you pick it first. But just the kind of the draft battle.
That's why I do like the Iva pick first.
Yeah.
It's just good. It doesn't say anything. You can pick Iva with almost any champion.
Yeah.
You can just kind of get anything that really wants to go in, and then it works out just fine. And also the support pick isn't really limited by the Iva. You can pretty much play any support with the Iva. So it's like this pick tells them nothing. And Dolos, the Varesh pick tells EUNITED that they're going to be a little bit aggressive. They're going to want to play around that damage amp, and they're going to know how they're going to do it.
Yeah.
And this is going to free up EUNITED to pick something like the Lucy if they really want it. So Dolos know less about what EUNITED are going to do than EUNITED know about what Dolos is going to do.
Yeah. Well, these next picks are going to be super critical to how they're going to go around. So Pestilence, Randler picking up that Pestilence, and Lucy. So the melee's not picked up yet. They're both trying to play around it, it feels like. So we have Pestilence, Randler's Pestilence, which wasn't very successful the last time he tried to play it against Impact, but this is a different map, different story, different draft philosophy.
I told you, man. They have all of the answers to this Rook. They're screaming for Dolos to pick Rook. EUNITED's like, please give us Rook. We want the free win. And that's what they're setting themselves up for with this Pestilence Iva.
Do they take away Thorn here?
I
Rook?
think they definitely don't ban Rook. You definitely either leave Thorn. I think you ban the Thorn, maybe. I don't know, honestly. I think there's a couple different ways you could do it. I think that Thorn is the most likely ban, simply because we've seen Your Nightmare doing so well on it today.
Yeah.
And he also does pretty well against the Pestilence. So that very well could be a ban.
Yeah, I just think that just because of the way we've been talking, the way we think that Dolos is or that EUNITED is thinking is if they want them to pick Rook, then you try to force the Rook pick.
Maybe they ban older. Maybe EUNITED ban
possible.
older.
That's
I feel like
very
EUNITED
possible.
ban older.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm pretty sure that's what you do here.
Yeah.
Or else Dolos are definitely going to pick the older. They do ban the Thorn.
Okay.
The Rook ban from Dolos. I wonder if Dolos are going to play that double support. That
EUNITED goes Freya here.
Yeah,
they're going Freya.
You think? I feel like they would go Freya if... I don't know, man. Because I don't think Dolos are going to pick Rook, like no matter what.
So you think they're going to go Oldor?
Yeah.
But does the EUNITED think they're going to go Oldor?
Yes.
If
I think so, they are way smarter than me.
Okay.
Unless I'm just like completely wrong.
I'm just saying, because if it's not that well in that thought process, because they could be thinking, like, for players, sometimes you can get too far in your own head and thinking that a team is going to go one direction.
No, you're right, yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, like, they might not necessarily be thinking about that, and it could they could be out 9.
No, you're right. Yeah, I think the Freya could still be good too, just because this map is so good for Freya.
Yeah.
So I think they actually might pick Freya. After you mention it, I think the map is very conducive towards Freya succeeding, and also the Pestilence is really good at helping out Freya, raining down panics on the enemies you're going on, and of course the Zap very good at helping out Freya.
Yes.
So I think it's possible. I'm not 100% sold on it, but I think it's possible.
Bako and Rook. So Rook does go through. They do not pick up the Oldor, and they go with a Bako instead, which...
Dolos are so ballsy, dude.
Yeah.
There's a Pestilence Iva on the other team, and you're still picking Rook. I mean, there are answers. You have Clarity Potion for all of the CC Pestilence provides, as well as the Taser Zap. You also have the Barrier from Lucy and the Inhibitor's Guard, but I'm still just really scared for this Rook pick.
I don't like Dolos. I don't like DOLOS.
Oh wow, you just don't like them? You're mean.
No.
They're really nice people. They're super nice people.
I'm sure they're super nice people. I don't like their draft.
They're drafted.
I don't like it against EUNITED's draft. I think that they have way too much to be able to counter what DOLOS can do, especially on a map like this. You do have a little bit of comfortability with Rook. You have the very, very small area with Orman Temple, so it's harder to put yourself out of position with a missed rush. Yes, but at the same time, on the other side of the table, they struggled against Team Hyped with this exact composition.
Yeah.
And Your Nightmare was not finding a lot of success on Rook. And near the end, he finally found it, but that was with a different composition, with a Rygon and with a much more open map. It's just a different set of circumstances.
Very different, yeah.
I think that this really plays into, like, look, the AoE on Pestilence Queen is so big, it's going to be so easy for him to get panics out.
Yeah, it's like the one thing that works out for Rook versus Pestilence is that if you hit your charge on the Queen, you get a farm up some free energy.
Sure.
But it's still scary, man. You're still just at risk of not being able to engage when you really want to, because Pestilence like hits a fear on you or an EXM2 and he just roots you forever. Yeah, my eyes are on Pestilence here. If Randler is successful on this Pestilence, I think EUNITED wins this game. It's as simple as that. I think Pestilence is the determining factor for whether or not EUNITED will.
Imagine EUNITED going up 2-0 in maps against DOLOS.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be nuts. EUNITED right now. The story of the tournament for me, man, is.
Do we get a reverse sweep then? Do we get another 5-game series?
We're
gonna be here till like
15 maps today. I might die. I would love 5 maps, but look. My health. I don't have much of a voice left. I don't know. You might have to solo cast because my vocal cords might burst, but that's all right.
I have no self-respect, so I'm okay with casting 15 games.
That's fine. Go for it. I'm with you. I'll be with you the whole way.
You can just you can be my moral support. I'll talk and you can be here. You can just be looking cute. You can just be the
They should do like a picture-in-picture of me like doing like the hand motions of what's going on screen.
Yeah, you can do that, dude. You can be our
I'll be the
translator.
Yeah, the translator for the deaf.
Sign language. Yeah.
Perfect.
Excellent.
We figured it out, but that's why they make closed captioning, so they don't need me. Anyways, this game's underway. Map number 2.
Big panic starting off. Jurgen's run back to the spawn with Clarity. Things being pretty even here though. As the Rook, he does have a nice amount of energy.
Yeah, he does. He avoided 2 quick panics. Inhibitor's Guard going to allow him to go in. Yeah. But he does get the stun on Your Nightmare. Actually smashes. Looks like he just smashed the Queen with that timing.
Oh, Randler. He uses his infest. And wow, look how far back in the spawn they are. They're actually in the enemy spawn. A double in cap is going to set up a fear. Oh, it actually doesn't quite hit the Rook, and the counter is going to get procced. Rook's on a full bar of energy. He's going to pop it off. Jurgen's on a full bar, as is Clarity. This round looks so good for the red team.
It really does look good for DOLOS so far. Doesn't hit him in the counter, though. Trying to pull off, and EUNITED did get that orb, which is pretty big for them.
Yeah, they desperately needed it, but I think they need a little bit more than that, Dorby. Randler.
Good in cap. Onto the stun. They get a lot of damage from too many shields, both Lucy's shield and the Inhibitor's Guard.
Yeah, the other shield.
The other shield.
The shield and the shield.
The double shield. Your Nightmare's actually taking a lot of damage here.
Wow.
This is slowly turning in their favor and getting a lot of damage out there. Sir Mia actually bullying right now on this Paco. We're gonna hit the ult, but just miss it, avoiding it with that R available.
Another one. Another double petrify here. Iva, he's gonna hit the counter of Your Nightmare. That was a bad space, dude. You deserve to lose this round. You deserve to lose that round. That was my name is Keith right there. If anyone remembers Keith from season 1, you space in right in between 2 enemies and you just die. Yeah, that was unfortunate because, like you mentioned, EUNITED definitely looked like they were clawing back in this round until that space happened. He tried to put the oil on Your Nightmare, but then Clarity was right there. Yeah. And he just bopped it.
And then right before that, the avoid or the juke from Excafoo. Is it Excafoo? It is not Excafoo.
Yeah, that's Jurgen. He's on the other team.
Jurgen.
Sorry, long day.
No, it's cool. But Jurgen avoiding the ultimate from Baco and just allowed that, because that would have been deadly. Yeah. Because the Death Fog was coming in, had that hit, you were dead. So it was just a huge play, huge heads-up play. As soon as you saw that ult pop, being able to avoid it.
Even after that bit of a misplay, I actually feel really good for EUNITED. Like, they lost that round, even though I think they should have won simply because of a misplay. That's one of those things you can fix. You can fix something like spacing in aggressively into 2 characters. You can just, not do it. Yeah, it's amazing. You can just go back to your allies instead. But when we saw the Iva and the Pestilence sitting together and Your Nightmare trying to go on them, he had nothing. Yeah. The Rook could not get in and have any impact, and that's what you want to have against Rook, and especially a player like Your Nightmare. He's their star. Each team has a star they focus on. For one team, it's Rumea. For the other, it's Your Nightmare. If Your Nightmare is shut out, then DOLOS is going to have a very hard time.
Oh, and that's a big miss on the
Panic
rush
from Sarmia.
And then another good pet, as you said.
That bulwark reflecting Clarny's panic, making the opener from DOLOS.
Your Nightmare's in so much trouble here. He's taking a lot of damage. I'm sorry, Joe, but this is just a huge stun. Your Nightmare got just annihilated.
You know why that happened? That bulwark. That bulwark that reflected the panic, putting Clarny back in his spawn. There was no clarity, no barrier for your Nightmare, and he just got blown up. Yeah. Beautiful play from Sarmia, and Rambler and Xfu capitalizing off of it beautifully.
They cannot find a way in. DOLOS is struggling right now. EUNITED putting on a clinic against this DOLOS team in round number 2. Rockets keeping him away, want to confirm it, and trying to prevent him from rushing in, trying to get the panic. Who gets it? Oh, the rush confirms the orb for DOLOS.
Yeah, DOLOS do end up getting that one. The Infest onto Xfu, going to mitigate a lot of the damage from that goo, and Clarny's energy usage not getting all that much value. Your Nightmare looking like he's going to die here. The flamethrower burning him to a crisp. Oh.
He got the ult off, but the powers combined is going to go through anyway, and he does get a little bit.
I love that space. I love that space away from Sarmia. He's just like, I'm not messing with that. Yeah. I don't care where you're going. I'm not playing with the footwork. I'm just jumping away from you, Jurgen.
Yeah, no way. They do get the orb here, but in capped away, it's not going to matter too much. He's just going to wait that counter out, and Jurgen will go down, and then Lucy will go down as well. So EUNITED, that's about how strong that they looked. It was just one misplay, like we said, in round 1 that cost them the game, and we see what happens when they don't.
I'm like predicting this way before it's close to even being over, but this is a draft win. Like,
yeah.
EUNITED baited DOLOS into picking Rook, and you are seeing Your Nightmare have no luck at all. Granted, if this round starts a little bit differently, if the bulwark doesn't reflect a panic, this might look significantly different from Your Nightmare. But in and of, like, that last round was really emblematic of how this comp is going to handle the Rook. Rook in general is just going to have so many problems getting in reliably.
Yeah.
And I can't believe DOLOS like got baited into this pick. I feel like it was so obvious.
Feeling like they could probably make it work anyway, confident in the Rook pick, confident in Your Nightmare's ability to play Rook and the ability to support him, but EUNITED showing that, yeah, you can be confident in that pick all you want, but we out-drafted you, so we're going to win. Look at Your Nightmare, he's just taking a ton of damage here. They got a little bit of damage onto Randler, but it's not nearly enough to mitigate what happened there. They do get the orb to mitigate, so we're good.
Yeah, the HP pools are relatively even, but if you look at DOLOS, all the HP is missing on Your Nightmare, and that's a big deal. If the Rook is down to about half HP, that puts him in a really scary situation where he can't risk getting much lower, because if he's low, he just can't initiate. If Rook wants to go in. Sarmia, however, he starts to take a little bit of damage. The machine gun gonna burn through that barrier.
Oh my
Your Nightmare getting so low already.
And he missed the rush too. That's deadly. That's a stun, and that's a kill.
Dude.
EUNITED just taking advantage.
Randler's owning. Randler has hit a couple Queen Fears onto Clarny. He also dropped his E, the panic onto Jurgen up top, doing so much on this Pestilence. And like I talked about, he's the key playmaker. Yep. He is the guy that is going to need to handle the backline, just rain down the fears back there so they can't support Your Nightmare. And so much of this EUNITED comp is just about making it so Your Nightmare's allies can't do anything for him.
Yep.
There's the Pestilence throwing fears on the back. There's the bulwark that we saw in round 2 reflecting panic flasks. It is so hard for Jurgen and Clarny to help out Your Nightmare, and as a result, he's just having such a hard game.
I gotta tell you, Sarmia's balling out.
He's doing really well, yeah, very well.
He's seriously doing a great job of boxing out Clarny, not giving Clarny any kind of space. And if you get Lucy behind a couple walls, she's gonna have a tough time getting back to her team. And Ormond Temple Day, as you can see here, with all of the walls, there's a lot of walls to put Lucy behind.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking like it's over, but once again, it is still only round 3. There is time for EUNITED to still lose this one. Oh, the Hand of Judgment being applied onto that Bako. He takes quite a bit of damage already.
Yeah, and that's going to limit his ability to address. He actually does get the Inhibitor's Guard to allow Your Nightmare to get the Petrify and do more damage onto, now turning onto Randler.
Yeah.
Back on the other side, in cap, not going to matter. They're going to try to take down Randler, not Randler, Your Nightmare as much as possible.
DOLOS are looking much better this round. The clarity on the bulwark is absolutely huge, and once Bako jumps, he's going to be in a bit of a scary situation. Jurgen's very close to the ultimate, and he now has it. What I got to watch out for here is he's going to go right onto the Bako. Just like I mentioned, the space was used, and the Bako eats a pretty significant punishment, though Jurgen is actually getting fairly low.
Yeah, Jurgen was getting popped upside. It was Xfu who confirmed the orb for EUNITED up top with the machine gun, which was absolutely huge, and then the stun on top of it, and getting stunned out. Your Nightmare, he doesn't have an answer for it, and having to get out of it quickly was Jurgen, and just a great play overall by Xfu, balling out here for EUNITED, keeping them in the match.
I'm still pretty concerned here for Sarmia, though. He's going to use his ultimate, which eats the counter, and they find the kill on Your Nightmare. Burst goes down in an instant, and the goo from Clerney gonna get no value. EUNITED, they had no business in this round. Sremia should have been long dead, but I called him the playmaker of this team for a reason. That ultimate securing the kill on Your Nightmare, and then both getting away from Clerney's goo, absolutely round changing.
You cannot stress the amount of the synergy on EUNITED is fantastic. Even when even when Bako taking so much damage, it was up top, Excafu confirming the orb on the machine gun and putting pressure on Jurgen, doing a ton of damage to Jurgen with the machine gun. After that, so you're trading damage like that, and it was so hard to get back to it, and then into the combo that you had described. Huge plays for EUNITED.
Yeah.
They look DOLOS has no answer.
Yeah, the DOLOS got outdrafted. This is a mega outdraft. I can't believe they picked Rook into the easiest bait of EUNITED's life. But EUNITED's looking very good, and I'm spending a lot of time talking about what Randler's doing for his team and what Sremia's doing for his team, but Excafu popped off with the gold numbers last round for a reason. Dealing a lot of consistent damage thanks to the pressure Sremia's putting on, Excafu is having a very successful game. I might have jinxed him, though.
Oh, he is getting rushed after having that gold damage game, but did zap it out. Oh my goodness.
Jinxed him, dude.
Yeah, he is getting bodied right now. The shield going to pull people off for now. He's actually going to leap and try to steal that orb. He does not get it, and that is questionable.
You know, I gotta say though, DOLOS, they still have the HP disadvantage. Things are still looking pretty good for EUNITED here, even though Excafu got chunked down so hard early on. Big double in cap from Your Nightmare and a lot of damage onto the Iva as a result. The stun is there. They're going to find a little bit of damage, but it doesn't connect to the taser thanks to the clarity potion of Clerney.
And he's been bullied all game, but he's still alive. Sremia now trying to get the bully against, and he hits the counter. Could have been big, but still low as Jurgen, and the shield popped on from Clerney. He actually ults Lucy and gets annihilated up top. Sremia balling out for EUNITED. They're gonna go up 4-1.
See you later, Clerney.
Wow.
Got ulted. Got Bako'd.
Bako'd in the face.
The classic Bako versus Lucy. Sometimes you just die.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Sremia and co. EUNITED playing so incredibly well in this grand finals, on the verge of going up 2-0 in what is the most clear outdraft we've seen all day. Things looking very good for the blue team. They only need to win one more, Jorby.
This is it. This is even when Your Nightmare, he's like, all right, fine. Excafu's doing a lot of damage. We could take him out real quick. Even then, they were only able to take him down to about half HP, and then they just got closed in on. And Sremia did so much work. You forgot about Bako. And it's a tough go for DOLOS in this match. Like you said, outdrafted, and you see how important the draft is in this game. This is a prime example of getting outdrafted, outplayed. And look at all this damage. Clerney has no answer.
Yeah, he's down to 89 HP, and he had to roll the barrier now used on his ally as well, and no energy on board for Your Nightmare to use that eat. He's going to get quite a lot of damage onto Excafu, though, and this might equal out here. The ultimate, it is going to hit onto the Rook, but the Rook was invulnerable from his counter being procced. Very nicely done by Your Nightmare.
Sremia is eating through it. Clerney in a little bit of trouble on the backside. Excafu in danger against Jurgen, and Jurgen, he gets hit in the counter. He goes back and away, and it gets him out of harm's way. So it was a dangerous bout there. It could have went either way, but Excafu gets out.
Your Nightmare's dead.
Oh my
He used his counter. Both barriers were dropped on him.
Goodness.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. EUNITED. Are you kidding me?
They're here to play.
5-1.
Yeah.
2-0 in the maps.
Yeah.
They're about to sweep DOLOS.
Absolutely incredible, and they have come to play. Not only have their drafts evolved.
Understatement.
Yeah, their play has evolved, their drafts have evolved, their mind games have evolved in the draft. Everything EUNITED is doing, they're doing right.
They've leveled up.
Yeah, they've leveled up.
This is
absolutely.
They're playing like champions right